Notify you once you begin your
What's
broadcast.
up, everybody? It's going to be a great quick call tonight, just about 15 minutes. So congratulations for showing up. We completed our 90-day fast track. We had an incredible 12 weeks, very productive, very lucrative, and very much filled with learning and growth, which is what this is all about. So congratulations for completing a successful 90-day fast track. Let's get into what we're going to talk about tonight. Like I said, tonight's going to be really short and simple. What I want to do is I want to give you some guidelines and some advice for what you should be doing really over the next 10 weeks. I want to share with you the results that we achieved together. We want to recap what this was really all about and what you should be doing with the momentum that you built during this 90-day period, and what should you be focusing on now. Because like I said on last week's call, this is never about 90 days. It's about 90 plus 90 plus 90 for 2 to 3 years. And that's where you want to be. You want to be in that kind of commitment. Don't take a week off. If you take a week off, I'm telling you, it's going to turn into several weeks. Um, if you went to college and you skipped a class, and you skip that class one time, and then all of a sudden you're skipping it more than once. And if you cheat on a diet, if you're on a specific diet regime or whatever, and you cheat, all of a sudden it's easier to cheat the second time. So just be aware of like what your natural habits are going to be, and be proactive about that. If you're doing really well and you've created some great habits on this fast track, which is one of our goals, continue to do those things. Don't lay off the momentum. Don't step off the gas, because I'm telling you, 1 week off is going to turn into 4 weeks off real fast. So don't do that to yourself. So I want to give you some advice for what to do next. I'm going to give you basically a to-do list. So here are the results. I mean, guys, this is incredible. We had 70 participants by the end of this fast track, which is incredible. I think we started with a little bit over 150. So half of you made it to the end, and you did some amazing things. Total appointments set 3,899. Website appointments 1,280. Plans shown 1,846. Can we just talk about that? 1,846 plans were shown. That's a lot of follow up, right? And would you agree that, just because those plans did not, equate into business partners right away, doesn't mean that they won't in the future. The work that you did over this 90-day period could totally manifest into something over the next 90-day fast track. We got to hear a little bit about Eric Yu last week, and how he hit professional, and he did the first fast track as an executive coordinator. And guess what? He didn't just do one fast track. He did a fast track. He did work on the off season, came back for the next one. Then he did more work on the off season, came back for this third time around, hit professional. Do you think that he hit professional and sold websites this fast track just by the work that he did within 90 days? Of course not. He did that because of work that he's been doing in 90-day increments, consecutive 90-day increments. And that's it's important to understand that key point. So website sales 101, selling at $144,288, generating a total of $93,640 in website retail profit. And in addition to that, $149,490 in other branded products were sold. That is insane. Guys, I want you to just do some basic business volume calculations. If we're talking about 150 grand worth of products that were sold, and 80% BV is the average BV that we measure. Think about how much BV was generated and credited to people's organizations, and how incredible is that? Moving on, 114 personally sponsored and over 170 additional business partners coming on board. Guys, that's almost 300 new business partners. That's insane. Great, great work. And again, I want to reiterate, this is with 70 participants, right? So 70 people completed this fast track and achieved these numbers. How incredible is that? You can see there were a plethora of pin levels that were achieved. And there, every coordinator, every executive coordinator, every master, every senior master, and even professional coordinator, every pin level is important. So congratulations if you or anyone in your group has achieved a pin level during this 90-day fast track period. I'm very, very proud of these results. I'm excited to share these with Dennis Franks and JR and Jeremy Finema and all of the other management team tomorrow, because what we did was awesome, and I was really, really happy and proud to work with such a great group. So, really quickly, why the fast track? Let's just recap what this was all about, right? It's about accountability. It's about being accountable not only to, your partner or to the group, but more importantly, being accountable to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, then you set out and do it. These kinds of habits, they will bleed into everything. The way you keep your room, the way you keep your house, the way that you pay your bills, the way that you show up on time, or if you show up 15 minutes late. It's about accountability, being accountable for your own actions, taking responsibility. There is no such thing as a successful victim, right? So when things happen, just take accountability, right? You got busy, take accountability. What could you have done differently? What are you going to do differently so that you can do what you want to do, right? Be accountable to yourself. When nobody's watching, right? That's when it matters. I love this. I think Andrew Wiseman actually posted something a little while ago that said something like, character is what you do when nobody's watching, right? That's why accountability for yourself is so, so important. It's an opportunity for you to grow. Transparency, right? Not hiding behind fluff, seeing the numbers. Did you schedule the appointments or didn't you? Did those appointments happen or didn't they? Did you do the follow up or didn't you? And that transparency is key for you to really come up with a really effective action plan. Learning from failures and successes, right? Understanding that failures are awesome. There's nothing wrong with failing. Failing just gives you an opportunity to learn and to try again. I don't care when I mess up. I really, really don't. Like, it's frustrating, of course, because that's natural, but I don't ever fail at something. I really I can't remember the last time I failed at something and said, oh, I guess I'm gonna stop now. It irritated me to try again a different way, right? And so I hope that that's what failure does for you, because failure for me is like exciting. It means I'm getting closer to the success, because I know that when you see people that are successful, we don't see all of the junk they had to do in between. And these 90-day fast tracks, it's about grassroots efforts. It's about the grit. It's about the work, and it's about failing our way to the top. And so it's okay to fail, but we need to be able to learn from those failures so that we can actually try new approaches and succeed. It's about momentum, and we just talked about that. That momentum is not going to stop because the 90-day fast track stopped. That momentum will only stop when you stop. So make sure that you continue to work and to build off of that momentum. And it's about full business growth, guys. You know, as much as we are the Web Center department, Jeremy and I are very, very, very committed to helping you grow your unfranchise as a Web Center owner, right? We want you to sell websites. We want you to sponsor Web Center owners, but we want you to hit pin levels. We want you to have a healthy business, a healthy organization. And so everything that we ever do will always, always be rooted in that. So that's what this is all about. That's what it should continue to be about for you. So what should you be doing now? Well, there's 10 weeks until World Conference in 2014, right? 10 weeks. That's not a lot of time. You saw how fast 12 weeks just went by, right? So 10 weeks. Do another fast track with your personal group, or just pick a partner and run a fast track together, right? It's not a big deal. All you have to do is just say, hey, let's be accountable to each other. We'll do 3-1-2. We're going to stay, we're going to stay in touch. Continue to post in our Facebook group if you want. I'll totally continue to monitor that and answer questions. Just don't stop, because the more you stop, the more you have to start over and over and over again. And if you don't remember when you first got started how difficult that was, let me remind you, getting started is the most difficult part about this, because it feels like you're working with such a small, pool of numbers. And so, don't do that to yourself, right? Don't make this harder for yourself than it really needs to be. I really recommend that you duplicate the efforts and duplicate what you learned on this fast track, and just apply it to your own group, right? All of the calls and all of the PowerPoints and the training materials are up on mawc411.com under getting started, and then the 90-day fast track page. You can see them. You could see the calls. You could see the PowerPoints. You could see the guides for how to run these. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you download these materials. Even if you only do it with a partner, it's totally going to be worth your time. It'll help you to stay on track leading into the next big event. So, speaking of the next big event, just so you know, you have 10 weeks. You are in like the magic point right now. I want you to ask yourself, how are you getting there? How many people are you getting there? Make a list of your entire group and call each one of them one-on-one. Please don't send out a mass message. Please don't, post an event on Facebook and invite people and just think that's going to be enough. It's not. Getting people to Miami is a big deal. People have obstacles, right? They have roadblocks. And so what we need to do is we need to be solution finders, right? If the problem is that they don't have a ride, who can they carpool with? If the problem is they don't have a hotel room, who can they, stay with? Whatever the problem is, figure it out, identify it, and then provide a solution. This is going to be the difference between what your business looks like in August, whether you get yourself there, whether you don't go at all, or whether you get there with a bunch of people. So I highly recommend that you focus your efforts while you're doing this fast track leading into World Conference on a grassroots effort to get as many people as you can to the World Conference. I'm telling you flat out, I would not be here had my husband not made that decision to go years ago. I know that for a fact. I just know it in my bones for a fact. You need to get to the World Conference. It is like, first of all, professional development. We own a business, right? If we were doctors, we would not stop learning. If you're a teacher, you never stop learning. You're a lifelong learner. You're a business owner. It's professional development. Be there. Secondly, it's important for team building, right? Your people need to understand this enormous asset that we have at our hands. And what we have is such a virtual asset. It's so intangible and inconceivable to a brand new business owner that getting to these big events is probably the only or the best way for them to understand this complete virtual asset that they have. And if they can't see, feel, and touch it, then they're basically not going to do the kind of work that would be required to build this $1 million business. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for you. So 10 weeks, sell a website, cover your expenses, whatever. Just get there. Be smart. Be a business owner. Don't be a victim. Go for the Web Center Challenge. Purchase. Here's what it is. You can download it at unfranchise.com. You either need to purchase or own a web center. If you're on this fast track, you probably already have one. You should already have one. Purchase 3 tickets to World Conference in 2014. Attend or conduct a web center training. Sell 6 sites. Personally sponsor 2 new distributors and submit your paperwork. All of this is available at unfranchise.com. I would love, love, love to see you up on stage with us. At the American Airlines Arena. How cool is that to be on an international stage in front of 20,000 people? Go for the challenge. Even if you don't hit this challenge, it will propel your business. One other thing I'd like from everybody, if you have a success story, if this fast track or the Web Center program has done anything for you that is remarkable, or even if you just want to just share it with me, like if you could please send me an email. I just want to hear these stories. I don't, I read the comments and that's great, and then I form the PowerPoints and that's great too. But I really want to get to know you, and I'd like to feature these stories in our e-news alert. I'd love to just write articles on our blog. I'd love to bring you up on stage with me if I can. So please, 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 please share your success stories. With me. Let me know what the program has done for you so that I can pass this along, because these are the things that we really need to get out into the field. So, you have to succeed so that others will. I hope that makes sense. All right. So over the next week, please take the time to do that if you can. So we're just going to wrap it up. I told you it's going to be short, sweet, and quick. I want you to do this. Take this week, reach out to your group, and organize a fast track effort inside of your own personal organization. They don't have to be web center owners. It's just do a general fast track. Whatever retail specialty the people have, then, when you're talking about setting website appointments, if it's a motives person, then talk about setting motives appointments in their aspect. Does that make sense? So this way you can just run in tandem, like with synergistically with your entire team. And while you're striving to set website appointments, Nutrimetrics people are striving to set Nutrimetrics appointments, and TLS people are doing TLS appointments. It's, you want a diversified business, right? And this fast track works hand in hand inside of any major. So you can totally work together for that. Lead into the World Conference with momentum, right? Oh my gosh, there's nothing better than showing up at World Conference with as many people as possible and with a momentous business, right? Oh my gosh, when you have momentum, it feels great. Go for the Web Center Challenge and don't give up. Play to the buzzer. And what I mean by that is when there's a game going on, you play every second. You don't stop until the buzzer goes off. Because every second counts. And I hope that you understand that this is not a 10-week hiatus. I will be posting in the 90 Day Fast Track group on a daily basis. I will answer questions in that 90 Day Fast Track Facebook group. I will be in touch. I am available. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you need help, if you need advice, all you have to do is send me an email, and I will absolutely be here to support you as you continue to build your business into World Conference and even further after that. So, guys, thank you one last time for joining me on this fast track. I so appreciate. I appreciate what I've learned from you, and I appreciate the opportunity to be accountable, the opportunity to lead, and I so appreciate the opportunity to co-train with 12 phenomenal fast track coaches. These guys taught me so much. It's just so it was such a treat to hear from other successful web center owners who come from all walks of life, who have all different perspectives, who have all different strategies that completely worked. And to be able to provide that to a group, I mean, we're not I've just never believed that that we all learn the same way. So to be able to hear from Mac Ebel and Sugi Lud and, Jay Sawyer and the Polos, Eric Yu, there's so many of them. There were 12 of Don Fagan. I can't even stop. It was just so great to have somebody that they could relate to. And I am so appreciative for them. And I hope that you'll join me in thanking them as well. Guys, it's been incredible. Thank you so much. And I will see you in Miami.